makers of so many maps: Abyssal Reef, Ascension to Aya, Honor Grounds, Core Hal Carnage Knockout, Moonlight Madness, and Habitation Station. All maps made by City and the Bard. And he comes with us here with, again, a bit of a different map, of Rush map from the Rush category. And it is Battle on the Boardwalk. Let's introduce the players first, then let's look at how the map looks. To the top left-hand side, our red circle player, it is soO. And he is going to be up against the blue Terran player. To the upper right from Dead Pixels, Optimus. Gas pool opening here into a hatchery shortly from soO. So let's look at the map then. Main base looks kind of normal. Move down to the natural is kind of normal. The idea is the kind of rush is up to this top side where you cannot walk through this direction. You have to walk along the boardwalk, I suppose. So you're going to have to walk along here, up, and back down to the other side. So, back down to the other side, and that kind of creates the rush map, kind of, the rush sort of distance, kind of make it kind of short early. And then the map after that is kind of interesting. The third base over here is actually kind of obtainable. You have another pathway up here to move around as well if you would like, rather than... And again, there's just a few different pathways. Down to the south, same sort of thing. And there's also this sort of, bottom left and left side is very interesting. Gold bases, but on a very difficult pathway to move larger armies down, so... Kind of, interested in seeing how this map plays out. I think this was one of the ones we had a lot of discussion about as well, where... Some of us really loved it, some of us really hated it, but all of us were very interested in how it played out. And soO is very much so playing to the map from the get-go here, as he does throw down that Roach Roaring early off the early gas pool hatch. He's just going to cancel it, and he's probably just going to go into a very standard link speed instead. The link speed probably started here initially as a bit of a fake out. Now the Roach Roaring scouted, he'll probably just let it finish and go from here. Just to go through some of the Team Liquid, the points on the Team Liquid post about this map. Not only is this map fairly switched together, it has many aggressive forward chokes. Think of the Gettysburg Bridge. It also has a boardwalk around the outside edge of the map that connects both of the mains. Both the backdoor boardwalk and the forward boardwalk, and the forward aggressive boardwalk can be fully walled off with just one deep wall pylon, and the natural is far enough away from the aggressive boardwalk that tank pushes shouldn't be too strong. Finally, tanks can only deny 2 mineral fields from the low ground 4ths and 4 mineral fields from the low ground 5ths if they are played on the upper boardwalk around the edge of the map, which is talking about here for the 4th and here for the 5th. So basically tanks can reach over here, but obviously you're leaving your tanks in a very far off position. That's kind of hard to use. And again, there's kind of this back entrance to your main base that can be walled with a single pylon or depot, but it's hard to get there anyways because you have to work your way through these rocks, and once those rocks are worked through, then you have to come up and through this side. Cyclone and a couple of Marines working their way through an Overlord right now. As you're going to be seeing the, again, just opening of Optimus was obviously designed to make sure you wouldn't die to early roaches, but obviously soO decided not to go for those early roaches in the later stages, as we're just going to be seeing the thing just kind of back away. And right now, soO just macroing up, taking his third hatch as well, and getting set on up. Setting up and roll on a Raven on the way out, and we do actually see a Baitling nest from soO on the way down in the back of the natural mineral line here, so setting up in towards that. Just going to play the Ling Bane openings here now. Couple Queens still on the way out here from soO as well, still setting up in towards those. A Raven on the way up, another couple of Hellions, and again more SCVs still coming on out as well as we speak, so will SCVs continue to come out? Yeah, really just a bit of a passive opening here. Third CC even from Optimus going to come on down now. Of course, this is going to be soO's final game of the day. After this, we still have to see Optimus versus Hero. Going to be about 4 hours into the broadcast so far. It's nice to have a longer broadcast. A lot of our casts lately have been a little bit shorter, but nice to have a long one for you guys today. And you do see these Hellions just coming in. A couple of Lings getting picked away at. And we're just going to be seeing and the Queen's just going to push those Hellions back. Lair on the way up from soO. Spore Crawler in the mineral line. Still playing very safely here as Optimus going to show us a 3rd and 4th gas, and Optimus is the kind of player who will play mech. He will play mech again and again and again, and right now he's looking to play mech. So he is looking to do that, and this, I say mech again and again. He plays bio as well, but in TVZ especially, mech has been his calling as of late, so... Stepping towards this, we see some Hellions fighting away on some Lings, and again just going to start running by these Hellions to try and do damage when he can. The double armory build here is obviously a greedier one to try and get yourself good upgrades on the mech units. And it generally leads you into... Oh! The Banes wander in towards those Hellions, then they blow up. But yeah, the Hellions is going to be kind of something to be used to kind of throw away to kind of slow the Zerg player down. The double armory is then a follow-up, which will lead probably into towards actually a double 4 drop from Optimus to keep on applying pressure. We have a Raven coming around the left side now. Auto turret in the natural expansion already doing a little bit of damage as well. 10 workers lost here by soO. As our war chest skinned Raven here on the high ground, gonna get one more drone kill. That might be it. Gets 2. soO just doesn't want to pull away from the mineral line. So 12 workers killed in total here in recent times. As for some reason now SCVs are moving across the map. A slight misrally here from Optimus. Small mistake at this stage of the game. The SCVs picked off then, and again Hellions coming through the top looking to see where they can go next. +1/+1 missile upgrades and a baneling speed coming up as well now. A few more seconds on the way out, and again just going to be seeing the 1-1 armory play coming through. The factory's finishing shortly. And still, just in general here, Optimus setting up nicely into his mech game. He's not being delayed, he's not being denied anything. so's not really been able to do that much damage to him early. As you are going to see the 4th base coming down. You know what I do think about this map is that this becomes a very quickly becomes a very split map scenario. You can't really push through the top side. You can't really push through the center. Well, you can push through the center. I guess what stops it from being split map is that, well, it kind of is, right? You defend this sort of location here, and you're defending 4 bases. You have to defend up here a bit as well, but I can see this map being one where, you know, just the entire map gets taken on either side, and it really does come out to one of those mined out games, which wouldn't take forever on this map because there's only 6 bases total. We'll see how it plays out, I guess. Obviously, the counterattack potential kind of through the south side as these rocks go down and in towards the mains. That could be kind of cool to see. 4 workers killed to the double auto turret. It's not even worth running in at that point to just lose a couple. You know, obviously they're not going to kill the auto turrets. May as well just leave the Lings so that at least a couple of them don't get picked off. Not a major difference though. As you will see, the 2 medevacs popping in as we talked about. Optimus loves this, going for the double 4 drop. Picking both of those up, and we'll start to move across the map with them here to try and do a little bit more at the same time. We're starting to see some Hellions going to be poking through to the south side. In fact, all these units are going to join up together. Well, that is a possibility. We're actually going to see the 4s and the Hellions. They are going to come up together. So this is going to be a bit of a joint effort here. As you're going to see both Queens going down the front already. Scan now as well, as we do see infestation put on the way. More drones from soO. Obviously feels good to defend, and actually I don't blame him. Plenty of Hydras here. Don't think the 4s are really going to be much of a threat. Best part about the 4 is that it's going to be really kind of, the 4 drops are kind of mobile with the medevacs, right? And so you're going to be able to move around different locations and find opportunities like this to pick off a Queen and another Creep Tumor. And sort of, those sort of bits and pieces. There's some surfboards. Oh my god, there's jet skis! Wow, that's awesome. Sorry, there's 4s fighting things, but there's jet skis! I actually love this mapping game, I have to say. It's a really fun one. Oh, he goes for the 4, gives it the medevac forward to try and save. I think worthwhile, just for the chance that you do manage to save the 4 there. Obviously, you could have saved the medevac, but yeah, I don't blame him for going for that kind of clutch save towards the end. I can feel his pain. I can feel why he would want to. As you do see, double auto turret again dropped on down and getting ready to go. Raven to the left side. A Hive continue to come on up here. And we are going to be seeing again Banes and Hydras and Lings still just gathering up together. An auto turret does get picked away at nice and quickly. As that auto turret goes down, that's going to be seeing the Lings and Hydras again from soO. Just going to be moving around and looking to see what else is happening. Hellions, tanks, 3 Vikings and a 4. Setting up towards the center as those tanks do siege up. But to see what this becomes, we're going to be seeing one overlord getting picked off already. And just going to be seeing these Hellions continue to push forward. There's a Creep Tumor going down there, and again a few more Banes over the left-hand side. Hellions just going to pull back once more at the moment, and just going to be seeing the tanks are More sieging up. Big push coming through from Optimus. Hive isn't ready just yet, which means, of course, the Vipers aren't ready just yet. I'm just going to be seeing these tanks just continue to push on forwards here. Optimus looking to get, looking to really put an end to this maybe sometime soon. Ultra coming on the way down. Lings and Hydras continue to come on up as well. 2-2 upgrades going to be finishing shortly. 2-2's already done actually for Optimus here. We'll lose the barracks, which is scouting ahead. As soO tries to take the 5th base. He's also losing some drones to, again, the Raven, which is now up at 7 kills. Second Raven, that is. The first one's on 15. It drops down over here. We'll get just one more drone. All adds up, though, and again, Optimus just edging his way towards the 5th base. No fault from Optimus, although he has the CC. He just has to move it into position. And again, well, I mean, there's, again, counter-attack potential through the top side here. Maybe run through this, run through up here. That's, it's a difficult map to really kind of stop this sort of push coming on. Again, it is a rush map. It's designed to be kind of a short rush distance. Here we go. We're going to see Banes and Hyde's going to run on forwards, and they're going to be coming on in. Just going to try and break on through this. The Banes want to connect on the Hellbats, and that's why they're running away. Hydras, obviously, afterwards will maybe be powerful enough to just break through anyways, and naturally the Hydras do make good progress, and they're going to keep on pushing forwards. Another tank going to go down. I'm just going to be seeing the well, tanks sieging up and a few more Hellbats coming in. There's only 2 tanks sieged up here on the 3rd base, though it's not that many. Hellbats will take some damage now. I think this is kind of, well, soO just saying that he's happy to fight this. There's a whole bunch of extra tanks arriving right now. Obviously that makes quite a lot of a difference, suddenly 3 more tanks are sieged up, but before this point he actually traded pretty well, and maybe he could afford just a few seconds longer there to pick off another tank or so. Two Hellions up the top side, looking to see where they can go. Going to come around the top here, just looping around, and again, 2 Ultras, 2 Vipers on the way out as well, plus 3 Carapace on the way. Chitinous Plane also about to finish. 4 Vikings on the way up, and what else is going on now? Is these Hellions just going to re-roast, and a bunch of drones going down. 6 workers killed so far, now 7. Ling's getting the job done. More tanks on the way out. I think soO's starting to get control of this game, though. Dealt with the previous push of just the Hydra Bane. This time he's got Vipers and Ultras on his side. And this is the composition which really will make it very difficult for Optimus to find a way back into this realistically. And we're seeing some Lings through the south. And then he's pushing forwards. And again, a few more Banes coming in. It's just about continue to deny these Hellions for soO. Minimize the damage. And just go from there. 3 free upgrades from Optimus. I mean, it's again nice that he's got the free upgrades. And the other armory definitely comes into play for that. It'll be a head and attack upgrade basically. soO not going into +3 missiles at all. Continue to build those Ultras though. I'm surprised he doesn't go into +1 melee at least, just to help the Ultras have something a little bit more than just the 0 plus tons of armor. Is that the Raven dying there? One Raven left is the one to the left side. So this Raven just going down, but it really did a lot this game. The Ravens, I actually think, did a hell of a lot. Talking about 37 workers killed by Optimus, and obviously a few were by Hellions, but the Ravens were picked up at least 15 of those, maybe 20 throughout the game. Again, attempt to run Hellions by. Currently, again, no real sign of usage of the bottom right and the bottom left side of the map, which you can understand. It takes a little while to work your way through these rocks, and I think it'd be powerful though, actually, if you send a couple Ultras through those, through this south side and up this side into the main base. I think it'd be kind of interesting. Going to be seeing these Hydra Bane Ultra army then getting ready to push forwards. There's the Vipers. A lot of these tanks are clumped up, and there's plenty of Blind Clouds available. I mean, he pushed through this previously with just Hydra Bane. Now he's got Ultra Hydra Bane, Vipers too, and I think this is just going to be soO pushing forwards into a strong position. I mean, cleans up a lot of the tanks. He's actually losing a lot of drones in the meantime, though. 20 workers going down. Optimus with a good kind of counter-attack here. Another mineral line very exposed, and soO losing a lot at the moment, while Optimus is actually going to take a supply lead. Wow, soO actually didn't take as good a fight as I thought there. It looked pretty good initially, but as Planetary Fortress was in play and there was other bits and pieces fading out, as the Blind Clouds faded and the Ultras went down, actually soO kind of ran out of units pretty quickly, suddenly losing 35 drones to the Hellions on the counter as well, and this game just took an interesting turn. soO's going to try and expand to this south side. Rather than take this base here, by the way, which Optimus hasn't even tried to harass, soO is going to try and expand to his opponent's southern 5th base. It's kind of crazy. Hatch will be cancelled here. I mean, again, soO can consider this bottom left-hand side to be his, his own. Again, we've seen nothing from Optimus to even suggest that he might try and deny that base, you know. Great Spire on the way up. We're going to be seeing a few Corruptors on the way out as well. And just another scan in the center. Lings and Ultras and Hydra still moving around here. 4 more Hellions, 3 more tanks, plus 1 ship weapons from Optimus, who is about to max out. And you know what? As he maxes out, we've seen him push earlier in this series. Well, in this game, we've seen him push with Mecha earlier today when he has got that army. He's not afraid, and he's going to go for it right now. So pushing across the map, a 30 supply lead. Optimus taking a map off soO. Considering that this entire group is based off of map scores, taking a map off soO could create a really interesting situation here. As we're going to be seeing these tanks. Well, they're sieging up. They are sieging up, and now they're going to unsiege. Siege and unsiege and siege and unsiege. Yeah, going to get ready to kind of keep pushing forwards right here. Tanks continuing to set on up right now. You just see the Vipers getting ready to abduct on forwards. 1 tank getting pulled in. Lings, Hydras, and Ultras looking to trade when possible. soO is still not maxed out, by the way, which is kind of crazy. He's getting Broodlords up, but there is Vikings, so there is something of an answer. It's not like it's just immediately going to have Bruisers going to be like, oh, well, that's cool, bye. Actually kills off a Viper already, which is kind of huge because it means there's less to actually help deal with the Vikings. Less Vipers, less parasitic bombs, the more these Vikings are going to be able to do. If they're obviously able to stay alive. 10 more Corruptors, though. But we plus 1 of the Vikings against an unupgraded set of Corruptors. Something to keep in mind. The scan will reveal the Broods, and Optimus has to decide what he wants to do about it. Does he try and fight, or does he go for here? You gotta remember as well that those Vikings, I don't know what I was about to say. I've got no idea. No one wants to take the awkward corner base because it's too awkward. Yeah, I mean, I can get that. I can get behind that. I think it's very awkward indeed, but I mean, if you're going to try and take this hatchery down here, why not try and take the gold one? I don't know, like, just in my eyes of how this game is going, I don't understand why you wouldn't try and take it, given the fact no one's tried to run by there or anything just yet. I don't know. If you're desperate enough to try and take this base, is all I'm saying. Is all I'm saying. We've seen Hellbat's tanks, Vikings, maybe picking away. Ooh, nice parasitic bomb will force the Vikings to split. Obviously that minimizes what they can do against the Corruptors here. A few tanks will unsiege, and again just pushing through the top side. Hellbats and tanks. Well, there's a lot of Ultras up here, and soO's going to be able to defend this kind of a little bit of a counter. Well, the Ultras are going down pretty quickly. Unsiege tanks actually kind of wreck these Ultras at the moment. A couple of units just straying a bit too far forwards, going the way of Optimus there in the skies. And these Hydras clean up everything to the northern side. Hellbats and tanks. We're looking to see what they can do. They're actually going to morph into Hellions again. A few Hellions going to come around the south, and well, still this mass Broodlord army on the way up, and that's what Optimus is going to have to look to start dealing with in the near future. Some Brood's going to drop some Broodlings down and picking those Hellions off before they can hit a mineral line. Resources lost is very favourable to the Terran player, so if they do stick on the 5 bases apiece at the moment, which they're on, it does become Optimus's game if he keeps trading as he's been doing so far. Pushing over to the right-hand side. What's the unit count like in terms of anti-air? 4 is still at Raven up as well, which is now what, on 24 kills. This might be one of the most successful Raven kind of harassments I've ever seen. 24 kills on a single Raven is absolutely crazy. He's going to be seeing Corruptors and Broods pushing through the center to see what they can get up to. Broods firing away, and that Planetary Fortress is going to be dealing a little bit of damage here. Vikings poking away at the Vipers too. Going to see Corruptors coming forwards, and we're going to see again Vikings taking some damage. Vipers are going to go down pretty quickly right away there though. And here we go, the fight does continue on. Optimus, can he kill off enough in the skies to be able to kind of win this game? He's definitely got the ground fight on his side, like he is winning out on the ground. It's just if he doesn't get rid of the Corruptors, Caustic Spray comes into play, and if he doesn't get rid of the Corruptors, there's also the fact he has to somehow kill off the Broodlords, and that becomes very, very difficult. Vikings just try and fly all over the place to escape this, but I think a few too many Corruptors in the sky, and again, there's just no real answer to the kind of the mass airplay from the Zerg. Ravens or something might have been needed. As it stands, it's going to be, well, Corrupt is coming forwards again, and Broods are just continuing to fight. However, the Brood Cannon is going down here. The fours are still working their way through those Broods. The Queens don't have that many transfuses. This is super close right now. One of the fours goes down, but there's still 2 fours remaining, and they're being mass repaired. soO doesn't have... He's got money to make a few more Brood Lords. More fours coming into play will get rid of the last of the Broods. And then what do you do as soO? Do you just make another round of Broods? He's going to caustic spray down this base. The mass repair is on the fours at the moment. So 4th base goes down. 5th base was killed already. Main is already relocating to the 5th, which will probably change ideas to be the 4th instead shortly. However, Optimus has killed off the entire Broodlord fleet, and now he can push forwards. And if he has enough, he might just be able to keep on pushing through. There's 4 more Broods on the way up. Again, soO has a bit of a bank, but not a huge one. He's down in army supply. 7 more Broods on the way. The other thing about soO's army right now is that it, mostly, or a lot of it, is Corruptors, which are not going to be useful if there isn't another wave of Vikings coming up in the sky to help fight the Broods. If he just focuses on 4s, I mean, it's dangerous, it's risky, and it's not easy to make 4s work against Broods because you got to be able to get close enough to them. And obviously you're putting yourself at risk of just being shelled away at by Broodlings. As we're going to be seeing the army just coming around the right-hand side. Optimus is going to land a CC on the gold. I mean, I suppose why not, right? At this stage of the game, you may as well try and take it. Let's see soO actually sending some Corruptors. It looks as though maybe down to that direction. It'd be nice if you could get rid of this base with a... if you could get into this base with a caustic spray or something. It could do quite a bit. Could be pretty good, I think. Corruptors come in, caustic spray will go down, so he's going to deny this right away. I mean, there's no way anything comes in here anytime soon. Another repair, maybe? Nope. Caustic spray gets powered up, and it is indeed going to be a kill on the CC. soO takes that command center down. Main natural 3rd base is mined out by both players here. Gas on the 4th mined out by soO. Almost his entire 4th base mined out. Optimus is heading in a similar direction. soO begins to take the bottom left-hand side because he doesn't really have any other choice. And he's even mining out of his 5th base right here. He's actually almost out of minerals right here. What's the resources lost at? 41 to 38.5k. Again, this is a battle of attrition, and if Optimus just mines that little bit more, or the same, while trading a little bit better, well, this game's going to get really crazy. Our longest game of the day so far is on one of the rush maps. It's kind of funny because it kind of reminds me a lot of Ulrena, where Ulrena was this map that was very, very kind of, cheese kind of attack focused early. It was classified as kind of a rush aggressive map. And yet actually later in the game it became a massive macro map because it was so difficult to attack on and push on. Lots of Broods here right now. A lot more Broods than previously. However, Optimus is putting his gas to use, and he is getting a lot of Ravens out. So a lot of Ravens on the way. 3 Ravens up, and the more Ravens he gets, the more chance he has of having a realistic chance against the Sky Zerg army, which is backed up by Queens on the ground with transfusers. Gold base now up and running. Workers will start to saturate it. I mean, again, he has no real choice, right? He's completely out of minerals everywhere else. 80 minerals left here, 280 on another patch. He just has to go for it right now, and again, this is going to be a little bit about it's going to be a little bit about kind of which player just takes the next fight well, because there is really no rebuilding from this next fight, considering the situation they're both in terms of their economy. Queens, Brood, some Corruptors gathering in the center. Brood's going to get ready to drop on down, so here we go. Optimus is based at the bottom side, being denied. He's going to lift him back away right away. Doesn't feel like he's in an immediate rush to do something. Halbert's here to back up against the Broodlings, and again, the Raven count's getting higher. Seeker missiles are a thing. They will be able to lock on towards those Broods, and they could be dangerous. Because if those Broods go down, there might not be very much left over at the end. Again, the gold base for both players here has been a bit of a lifeline. Ultra's not able to mine this bottom side any longer though, and especially if soO gets creep on top of it. but making it a bit awkward to see Ravens going to throw Seeker missiles forwards. Broodlords with a very nice split. Queens obviously do have the transfuse, and that's not going to be anything lost at all for the first wave of energy off of those Ravens. And obviously Optimus has been pushed into a bit of a corner. He can't just wait forever for more energy to come on up. He has to fight kind of at some point. Otherwise it becomes a bit of a weird scenario. Here we go. Point defense drone is going to be used. Auto turrets as well, as Optimus is going to try and fight this, but I think soO just about has enough after 25 minutes to shut down game number 1. soO takes it. Otherwise, we may never see it. So, as we set on up, let's go into game number 2 of this best of 3. Really putting up a fight, and I think impressing a lot of people right here today is our blue Terran play on the bottom right-hand side. It's Dead Pixels Optimus. Really has been impressing, I think, a lot of people because he's playing so well. He's doing a very good job. He's took a map off Gumiho. He looked good in his other games against Gumiho. He looked pretty awesome in game number 1 here against soO. Showing us some great games. As we are back onto Grime, a map which was again by Fatam, I believe. Let me just double check that one. I'm pretty sure it's right. Yeah, Fatam. Fatam is our map maker here on this one. Apparently consistently plays highly in previous TLMCs. So again, Grime is our map, and this one again, you kind of, it's one of those kind of standard maps where the 3 bases come nicely. I'm actually intrigued to see TVZ on this matchup versus the TVT we saw earlier, because I really feel like this base, this map could play out very interestingly given the time to actually be played. It didn't really get the time it needed in the TVT. Gumiho was just a little bit too good in that one. How are the maps so far? Honestly, obviously this is just my opinion, but I think pretty much all the maps we've casted have been pretty cool. Obviously we've not had, full games on every map. There's a couple of maps we haven't seen, but I think we've had some really solid games, and a lot of the maps really are just standing up for themselves. I don't think there's been a map which has been, like, generally terrible or anything, which is nice. Janice 15 times tomorrow. Yeah, Janice will be played tomorrow. We'll force it to be played. We're actually going to see Freerax Reaper as the opening here for Optimus in game number 2, so he's going to really change things up and go for the Reapers. Now, obviously, you might think, Freerax Reaper hasn't been used for a while, but if there's anyone that can make Freerax Reaper work, probably is Optimus, who is the kind of the prodigal son of Euthermal. Another Dutch Terran player, and his Reaper play really is, his Reaper control really is very much so on point, as we're going to be seeing the grenades going down, and again, first Reaper's already harassing basically, so soO reinforcing some more units. Obviously, Optimus wants to try and deny the third baseman coming up, and you actually just have a little bit of a ledge to utilize here as well to kind of jump up and down with those Reapers. Not if he gets caught like this, though. He gets blasted to the low ground, 1 Reaper down. Nice catch there by soO to pick up the first Reaper kill of this game. He's going to come in, and actually Optimus doesn't have a good grenade in time. Second grenade, first grenade that does come down is good, although it does kill one of his Reapers at the same time. I'm just going to be seeing, well, again, more Lings coming in and just pushing these Reapers back, and this has not really been so successful from Optimus. He has kept soO on a fairly low drone count, but you got to remember that his command center is only just about to finish, so there's only so many positives you can take away from having forced Lings instead of drones, because obviously soO from here has already got enough Lings to defend, and he can just drone, and be fairly free of worry for a little while that he has gotten himself into a good position. Another Reaper going down there to the right-hand side, and the Stimpack continues on up. We'll see Optimus just going in towards a fairly standard kind of Freerax Reaper build order kind of follow-up, which is just go in towards the Freerax factory and starport and build some pressure in Marines. Now, we haven't actually seen out of... we haven't actually seen a third base out of Optimus yet, so it doesn't look to go for that. I'm just going to see this Reaper 2 throwing down a grenade, and again, little bits and pieces of damage, another couple of Lings getting picked off. I'm just going to be seeing these Zerglings coming in. They will get us around on a couple of Reapers there, so a couple of Reapers getting taken down. And soO will once again be able to come through the center, keep on hunting for other bits and pieces going down now. Lair on the way up from soO. Again, we're just going to be seeing the kind of the build here from soO starting to really just establish carapace upgrade to help him deal with kind of fast fire and marines in the early stages when he's got just lings and so on. Going into the lair to keep on tech, and obviously the Bane nest will probably come down sort of soon. Probably still expecting just to see some sort of Ling Bane play style. So you have a overload to the right hand side, soO here just moving this around, and again just looking to see what else is happening. So Slair's still building. A couple more barracks on the way up here from Optimus. Yeah, and Reaper's just going to be moving around all over the shop just to see what else they can get up to. Another upgrade coming in as well. Just getting confirmation that it is going to be some sort of Ling Bane playstyle. We saw him playing Ling Bane Muta before against Gumiho, but you also saw him playing Ling Bane Hydra, depending on the map. And I feel as like this might actually be one of the Ling Bane Muta maps, you know? You look at the, the dead air over here, access to the main, the natural. I feel like flying around between the natural and the third base could be very powerful. Or the natural and fourth base, natural and main and the third. He's going to go Hydra dense. He's just going to go for the Hydras. Not going to be too worried about the idea of how good Mutas might have been. Not too worried about it being a fairly narrow mid-section of the map to move on through. So you're just going to be seeing the Reapers and Marines pushing forwards here. And the Queen going to go down. Now the Banes aren't ready just yet actually. And Optimus might just have caught soO a little bit off guard. Banes continue to morph in right now. He's going to be seeing another stim pack coming down. And Reapers going to continue to work against this. We're going to see lifting up. We will be able to back away. So Optimus gets out of there. And we're just going to be seeing him maybe just trying to keep the pressure. Obviously something like this. Try to slow soO down is nice. However, he is on 45 workers against 63. And being down by 20 workers is obviously not too pretty. Muscular Augments on the way up here from soO as well. Couple of Widow Mines plus one attack upgrade coming through. Also Optimus still moving in towards the upper left hand side. See another Queen taking a little bit more damage as well. And just lifting up, backing away here. Optimus wants to disengage from this fight. More Marines and 2 more Medivacs coming on in right now. Is just going to be seeing the... Yes, continue pushing on forwards, and Scan will help to push back creep again. So you're going to start expanding towards the upper side for his 4th base, so not letting anything slow him down in that regard. Remember, Optimus is here without a 3rd CC, and so this is all about consistent, momentous pressure, where you kind of start a fight, and you keep on fighting. You know what though, soO doesn't have Banes at the front anymore. There's the Banes coming in. Optimus just needs to split one last Baneling. And now there's not really enough to actually still protect against these Marines. There's enough Marines to push on forwards. The last transfuse has been used, and you know what? I think Optimus has broken soO. I think Optimus has broken soO. We're going to see this Extractor taking heavy damage. Some more Lings dropping as well. Marines continue to work their way through the Extractor, through the hatchery. And this is going to be the 3rd base going down. Optimus, 20 supply ahead right now. 64 to 28 army supply. He's down just a single carapace upgrade. I mean, drones are currently being pulled around the army because soO needs to find a way to make something happen here. He needs to fight with them. He's got nowhere else to send. I guess he can send them top right, but be kind of risky. We're going to be seeing 2 Banes targeted down already. I mean, as the drones walk into this, you see the meat grinder of the Terran units just completely melting everything. And soO is going to drop game 2 to Optimus, it seems. Or is he going to be able to hold just about somehow, some way? Another Bane got targeted. Marines are reinforcing across the map. We're going to be seeing more and more drones dropping as well. The Hydralisk is going to go down. Again, drones pulling in. soO is not going to give this up. Or maybe he just can't quite believe this. Drones pulling in as well. This Widow Mine going to go off. We're going to be seeing the Overlords taking damage once again. GG. And Optimus takes game 2 against soO here on Grime. So, with that said, let's jump in game and see what's going to happen. Game number 3, to the bottom left hand side of the map. It is going to be our Red Terran player from Dead Pixels. Give it up for the player who just took game number 2. It's Optimus. Top right hand side, our orange Zerg player. It's soO. Wow, wow, wow. This is crazy, man. soO and Optimus. 1-1. Who would have thought? Especially as Optimus came in as a last-minute replacement. This is like one of the last things I was expecting out of him. Really, really crazy. Really, really crazy. The 3rd game then. As we set up into this and looking to see what's going to happen. Again, this is a map by Avex, the maker of Invader, Odyssey, other maps as well. Why am I not in the ZvT Mappers Discord channel? Because I'm in so many Discords that, I'm not going to lie, I just wouldn't have a chance to read the fucking discussions in there. Although it would be kind of cool. I've always enjoyed kind of casting new maps and stuff. And I remember actually back casting, I actually ran an event once. It was a UK league where we actually had like an entry or where people could submit their maps, and we picked 3 maps to be used throughout the tournament. I've actually been kind of interested in running my own kind of map stuff as well again. I did something with Penguin a while ago. We called it Luck Fadder Maps. It was when the ladder maps were really bad. So we called it Luck Fadder Maps, and it was a set of show matches on community-made maps as well. And it was very cool. And he really wanted me to do more, but it's just kind of finding the opportunity and the money to do more, obviously. And the tough thing about getting people to play on new maps is, you know, for the players to make it worthwhile. You know, usually players don't mind playing a $100 cup because they get good practice. But it becomes very different when you start playing a $100 cup on maps that aren't actually in the map pool. Then it becomes very different indeed. Alright, so we do see these couple of zones moving around. Early game is looking standard. Again, earlier today, soO lost to depth pretty quickly and pretty heavily on this map. As we're going to be seeing Queens just popping out, throwing down some injects. And just setting up into this. Reaper moving around, and Drone actually pulls back away from the third. Reaper maybe could have got some damage already. Drone actually goes down to the bottom side here to make the third, which makes a bit more sense. Talked about it earlier, this base is a bit further away. And generally the expansions through the south side are going to be kind of more expected. Maybe taking this base over here as the fourth later on would make a bit more sense. We'll see how the Terran player plays it. We get to see a Terran player here on Blackpink. We've run a couple of Hellions already roasting their way through this hatchery. So Hatchery taking some damage right now. Cloak on the way up from this Banshee as well. And a single Marine there to push that Overlord back from soO. We're going to get pushed away a bit more towards the center. The Young Queen's here just being used to kind of help defend and to obviously open up access towards this third. And Optimus going to go into a Cloak Banshee while also dropping a second factory down. No shame to show us what he's planning here right from the get-go. Where's the second factory? There it is, behind his mineral line. There is really a lack of space in this map, by the way. But I don't think we can really point this out enough. I really think there needs to be a bigger main base or something. Like, I guess maybe the main... I mean, like, you can fit like 3 factories here, especially for mech units. Like, they're going to get really choked up and caught up all over the shop in these kind of small main, the small natural. Interested to see how this goes as Optimus with a Banshee already coming across the map here. Looking to see what he can do in these early stages. Obviously looking to apply some pressure, get some damage dealt. It's going to be seeing a couple of Hellions and the Reaper sat down here to the right hand side too. Trying to do a little bit, or in position to maybe do a little bit more. It's Banshee all the way to the top, and just going to be seeing the Baneless coming out the lair, about to finish. And again, more Banshees on the way, just pressure from Optimus here. Does he have an armory? He doesn't, right? Because he invested into the second factory, which will take up that extra gas. You could usually maybe spend it on the armory for a Hellbat attack. He is going for fast Blue Flame though, so he's just going to go for mass Blue Flame Hellions. If against soO is going to go Ling Bane, well, maybe, just maybe, this works. Banshee still sat overhead, some more Zerglings popping out. A little bit more damage being done, a couple of Lings taking some shots there. Hellions still pushing forwards, Queen's taking a few hits because of it. 2 drones going down so far, nothing too major. When Blue Flame finishes though, man, Blue Flame could be pretty deadly against a Ling Bane Hydra way of opening in the versus mech style. We'll be seeing this Banshee still doing a little bit more. We're back away now. 6 kills. Definitely not bad. An Infernal Pre-Ignite has started its countdown on the right side of our screens to show us that it really isn't far away from finishing. Banshee just get taken down here. Hellions looking for the way to poke and prod. Long time since I've seen double factory Blue Flame. It wasn't even a build that came across my mind when I saw him opening with the double factory. I mean, when was the last time you guys saw a double factory opener? When it was used for Blue Flame. Here we go then, masses of Hellions. And immediately here, I gotta say that soO does not have a lot of units. These Banes are gonna start to connect. Nice little split away last moment there. And again, the Blue Flame kicking in. Pulls back. 7 Hydras on the way up. So the Hydras are enough against the Blue Flame though. I think the Queens might just be enough actually. The Queens are holding on pretty well. Here comes another Banshee to add a little bit more DPS to the army. And it's going pretty well until the Overseer comes in. The Queens get to focus it. And so far, I'd say Optimus hasn't really hit the marker with this Blue Flame Hellion play. Queen's still working their way through this here, and we are going to see one Hellion getting taken down. This Banshee gets pushed away as well. And again, the Hellions here from Optimus going to come forward and going to be picking their way through another couple of Hydras. So, Hydras taking a little bit of damage once again. Trying to do just a little bit more here. Hellions pulling away through the top side once more. A couple of Zerglings coming down, and we are going to see one Zergling getting picked off right away. Still an Overseer in the skies. 2 more factories building in the main base, and now the third one too. 5 factories is that 2 base sort of level of production, or 3 base level of production. Talking about third base, is going to land just before Overlord spreads creep. No! I cursed it. Overlord spreads creep, and naturally there's a single Marine to come and push it away, but man, it's going to take a little while. A little bit of a shame there for Optimus, because that is just going to slow down that third CC. And, you know, 30 seconds, a minute. We're talking about a few SCVs that could have been built, and, you know, it does add up. It does add up. Hellions pushing forwards. Only find themselves a couple of drones here, though. Nothing too open for them to take advantage of. And again, just waiting for the next stage of this to continue here between the mech and between the Zerg. Again, Ling Bane Hydra is a way to kind of clean this up. Do remember, guys, 1-1 right now, and after this game, we have one final set of 3 maps to be played between Hero and Optimus. If you guys are enjoying the stream, remember to hit that follow button. If you're really enjoying, you can show your support in plenty of ways as well. I'm sure you know. Whoa, is this a new quitter? Miss Magimech? That's crazy. That's funny. You guys know Miss Magitech, right? I mean, that is 99% a reference, right? Miss Magimech. That's funny. I like it. That might be my new favorite creator in the game. Come on, come back up here. I want to see it again. I love it. Alright. Hellions going to push forward with these Lings and Hydras, and we are going to see... Again, the Hellions of the Blue Flame are roasting those Hydras for breakfast at the moment. Optimus building up now into a bit of a higher siege tank count, etc. Which is good, because it's just about getting to that point where soO might consider being a little bit more aggressive. And the more aggressive he gets, the more necessary it is to have a real kind of solid line of defense, such as siege tanks, rather than Hellions, which are more about being able to dive in, find a good fight, and dart out, than taking a straight up fight. You know, these Hellions fight these Hydras, they die. But you know, you dart in and find a shot on the side at a good angle, you can flame these down in seconds. And that's the difference. So that's why the tanks are going to be important here. Obviously, the Hellions can be very useful for doing the tanking for the tanks and making sure they stay alive a bit longer, putting themselves in front. As you do see the Hydras and Banes continuing down towards the bottom left-hand side. Vikings here will pick off an Overseer. So Overseer gets popped, and Marine getting taken down too. And this push in general, getting ready to roll forwards. Couple of Banes going to get picked away at. Tank sieging up again, going to do a little bit of damage. I think soO might just have a little bit too much, though. Momentarily, the Optimus, I think, attacked his own siege tank, and maybe there was a Zergling on top of the tank. That would have made a little bit more sense. Well, Optimus is going to push this back, but as reinforcements stream out from soO, is Optimus going to be able to keep on holding on? That's the real question. And it's going to be difficult, because soO can also come in from this ramp here, and he can come in from 2 ramps at the same time. And that's why maybe this third base up here might have been a bit safer. Okay, have to defend the natural and the third at the same time then. A bit more spread out. But one entrance here, and then you put your mech here, and you also kind of defend the other entrances. As we continue to just see these Hellions setting on up. More Hydras just joining up in the center. We're going to be seeing the extra Banes morphing on in a scan to the upper right side. And again, just going to be seeing the infestation pit from soO about halfway done. Big split here from soO. 2 different angles he's going to start pushing in from. I'm going to see him already looking to get some damage done in all of this. The tanks are going to start dropping immediately. Vikings will land to help to try and just push this back. Can he give the tanks enough buffer to deal the damage they need to do? I think the answer is no. And I think the answer is that soO will take this series 2-1. Optimus was a well-fought game number 1. Well, actually, honestly, this could have been a 2-1 victory for Optimus. With how game number 1 was going, it was super close. Super close. And as we see, the last few units of soO going down here. we will see another wave of units eventually coming across the map. 12 more Hydras. Upgrades are continuing. The 2-2 for our Terran player right now is definitely helping against the 1-1 best. 2-2 finishes as well from soO. There's something else that will just be good enough for him. Nicely positioned group of Hydras there behind this line of sight blockers. Probably shouldn't have won that fight against the Hellions, but obviously the Hellions couldn't see it, and so they got picked off. Obviously this time a few more Hydras and the Hellions move command through aren't going to be able to do too much. 165 to 95 supply, and well, at this point, what even happens from here? What even happens from here? I'm not too sure. Hydra's still getting positioned in the center, getting ready to push on in. So he's going to play a little bit slow. Adding some swarm hosts. Going to play it safely, I guess. Doesn't want to risk this. Knows that with the way that the games have gone today, that he is likely in a tough position in terms of moving through this group, and so dropping this map could, well, probably would make the difference. Swarm hosts and Hydras gathering together. You see a bunch of Lugers just going to drop one down here, and they're going to start moving forwards towards this mech army. A few tanks set up, and the Lugers will start to get dropping down, and the Hellions out of position. The Hellions out of position means that the tanks will take a lot of friendly fire here. The Hellions won't do the tanking on those Locusts, and that's a bit of a shame. I'm just still setting up the Locusts a little bit spread out. Optimus going to GG out. He's going to call it a day right there, and it's going to be soO to take the third game.